Greetings, pal. What's this? Are you proposing a trade? Because if you are, you came to the right place. What do you need? Liquor? Cigarettes? Food?
I'm still interested in that box of food you offered me. I brought you this pack of cigarettes.
Virginia tobacco. There's not much of this in the camp. That's a good start. But it's not enough. The pack's been open and several cigarettes are missing. I need something more.
Would a bottle of liquor do?
Fantastic. I think that's a fair price. I'll take both of them. Here you go, pal. The food package is all yours. Enjoy it in good health.
The box says, Government Rescue Campaign. I have no doubt whatsoever. The hunter and his men must have... That is, if they had...
Hello again.
I'm not really... That's odd. The drum has everything indicates that it was being used for... Can I ask you a few...
I'll answer.
Well... Hello again.
They shot him! And what are the three of us gonna do when... We'll lose everything!
How is your husband?
He's badly injured. He's really... If we at least...
The three of you.
Those two brats wear me down with their antics. I have to chase after them all the time.
They're just children.
What do you know, you rat? I have to run after... Those kids don't give me a minute's peace.
I should... Give me that...
I don't try... First bring me food for my children.
Okay. Here. This is what I promised.
That's all the food you brought? This will barely feed us.
I'm sorry. It's very complicated getting more in the... I only wanted to show you that you can trust me.
That's what all you rats in this trash taking advantage...
I've held up my part of the bargain. Listen, let me have that pack, and I promise I'll come back with the morphine you need to ease your husband.
Ah, okay, here.
What's this? A bracelet?
It's like an ID badge. Wear it won't just get you out of the camp. It'll also help you avoid all kinds of problems with the army once you reach the city. I'm not sure I'm doing the... Just don't betray me, you rat. Bring me that morphine for my husband. Much more money than you could earn in a lifetime in the...
No, that's not necessary.
I have to know you're coming back. I don't trust... And I know that money is the only thing that'll make you keep your word. Now get out of my sight, and don't make me regret this. There'll be a fat wad of cash.
Okay.
Go through that gate.
Do you need to get a closer look?
Wait a minute. Look, he's got... Those cockroaches are very useful to us in here. Lower...
You heard him.
I don't mean to bother you, but...
Hey.
I won't
Get lost.
From here I can see one leads to a con, another leads to a graded, and the third disappears into the distance. looks like there are some chiseled stone structures. And what are they doing sunk here? It seems like a small I can't reach it from here. Maybe I should find a way. It's the charred remains of a tree trunk, fighting to. For the moment, it's holding its own. I suppose the rain has been flooding the pit. This water is so dark you can't even. This hole in the ground is steep wall. The distance to the bottom. Thick bars at the end of the pipe block the open. Extremely hardened. A few yards away, I can see a great mass of trash, mud, and plant that accumulated in there in the years since this water out. Blah. Even from here, I can smell this. Impossible. It's beyond my reach. In the distance, the other end of this. Thick bar, extremely.
Damn it. It's amazing. Everything is mutating. I don't understand.
So, I enter the city. It welcomes me with its most merciless and bitter grimace. What I see before my eyes is not what I expected. Doomsday made it here, too. Even if no one in the refugee camp knows it yet. Damn it. The city looks as bruised and battered by the catastrophe as the rest of us.
A todos las ciudades del fin del mundo. Papá. Bien, tenemos el fueguito. Ahí ya no, cumples 30.
What the hell is that old man trying to do with that enormous pair of bolt cutters?
Help me, please. Don't let them find me in the street after curfew. They'll take me to the... But don't make any noise. There's a patrol.
I'm looking for a plate.
I don't really know. There's a small medical center. They built it in a hurry. No one really knows what it's for. But there are whatever they're doing in there. They keep... Not even my daughter would tell me...
Did you say your daughter?
Yes, my daughter. I'm afraid she left me. Because one day she simply left. I think she was right to leave me. These times are hard enough.
Oh.
But what is it you need me to...
It's almost curfew. I need a place to hide, or they'll...
Okay.
This house is empty. If I can just get this padlock off before I need to get in here. If the soldiers find us...
Impossible. I'm sorry.
I need to get in.
What is all this?
At curfew, the soldiers want the street, and the way they see it, if you're out on the street after curfew, it means that you've got, and that makes you a rat. And so they take you to... I can't go to the camp.
You need a roof over your head.
I used to. I owned an apartment a few blocks from... The block was badly damaged by the Great Wave.
And what happened to your...
This morning, we had to evacuate the area in a hurry. We ran out in the streets with whatever we had on. And a few hours later, all that with 40 years of memories. but I can't let them take me to the camp. Please,
I'm sorry.
help me.
Bueno, puede te ayudaré.
A chain with a padlock. Huh, let's not waste any more. This chain and padlock have this door locked up tight.
Ayudaré al
Whoever
pobre
did
hombre.
that.
Pobre Alicia, lo llevamos.
3 people warming themselves by the fire, as if their thoughts were also burning.
Hello, friend. You look lost. Come over by the fire.
It's dying, but maybe it'll last until curfew.
As long as those uniformed psychopaths don't decide to end our...
Hey, look. One of those... They say that place is a real hellhole. So you've come back from the dead.
Well, you could put it. You were saying something about...
Well, it depends on the mood of the soldiers in this... But you know it's time to go home when they start taking their guns out of their...
Today they're extremely jumpy. I don't think...
You guys are awfully hard on them. It's...
Oh, shut up. In any case, you don't have to worry. That bracelet, you know that's one of the...
And you?
We try to stay out of their way. The first rule is, be home before curfew. Anyone who isn't gets dragged off to refuge. That's one of the strictest laws the Great Wave imposed upon...
Why are you afraid?
I don't know where you heard that, friend. Here, things are very ugly and getting uglier every day. Everything's in...
We have a surplus of just 2 things, and getting... especially since the army took...
The army. I see.
Those are distant memories from the old world, because all that collapsed like a house since the Great Wave. No one's got it.
He's right. The most reliable thing we have, armed teenagers in uniform on the street, just as scared as we are, and shooting anything that moves.
I think our common destiny is to finally die of starvation, or I don't know which of the 3 options I find the most. Who knows? Maybe the most sensible thing is to organize a group.
Suicide Park. Don't call it. That name's as stupid as that hospital they built. It's crazy. The entire city is... And the soldiers keep those medical facilities...
Did you say...
And the first dark stars we could sit...
When the sun departs from Yes. But what the hell is it? Is there really a place with...
Yes. After the Great Wave, and when things were starting to get... Ease their suffering with a bullet, by overdosing. You know how it is. All those dark stars had a hard time.
There was a terrible... And there's still...
The problem is at some point access to drugs and firearms, so the easiest thing was to grab a rope or a belt.
There was a time when it was hard to find a free branch anywhere in...
The suicides in the area multiplied at such a rate that they said for public health reasons.
For months, the only thing blooming in that park were the corpses. The place became more like a theme park.
I told you not to make jokes. Don't you have any respect for...
Of course not. That was one of the many things, and one of the things I...
But what good is it having medical facilities? I don't understand.
No one does, friend, but that's the way it is. But I can assure you that they're not going to get treated for...
Besides, it's a real fortress. From an overdose of gun... You know how it is. There's no cure for love or death. Hey, I like that last phrase. It would...
Oh, will you shut up for once, Ramon? Don't pay any attention to him. In the old world, and he still thinks that all that waste...
And in fact, it is. A good deal of that scrap paper, so I can consider my literary...
And do you know how things are elsewhere? Do you get new...
I'm afraid not. With no communications or transportation, and with the army on every corner, we are totally cut off.
Who cares anyway? When you don't know from one day to the next if you're going to be alive, there's no time to worry about what happens 100, 1,000, or 100...
I understand. Thanks for the...
Thanks for the company, friend.
It's the silhouette of the soldier. It seems like those uniformed psychopaths right onto each and every corner. The traffic in this part of the city, but now you can barely hear the sound of a few buildings are still standing, but most of them are propped with a handful of city dwellers in the street, but there's no doubt about it. It looks like this heating technology is not limited to the refugees, and their emissions are just as toxic. Judging from what remains of the stained glass windows, now it's one of the most badly damaged buildings.
Send us a sign, Lord. We need a sign.
Hey, wait a minute.
Are we guilty of arousing your rage? Speak with your tongue of fire. Is this our... Unleash your thunder.
I'm getting a strong impression that man, but the sermon made me curious.
Did we do it? Are we the guilty ones?
The remains of the stained glass window that the Great Wave must have... In fact, there are still a few glass shards. A few parishioners listen, although I'm sure that they can't decipher the meaning.
Of the temple, the lion above the flames.
Considering the condition of the rest of the church, such little light that gets in from the... The only statue in the... What's his name? I'm afraid that if I ever was a believer...
The ruins of the temple, the lion above the flames.
The catastrophe caused a lot of damage. This is a miracle. The catastrophe is a miracle. The catastrophe is a miracle. This column frac, now it's keep...
The ruins of the temple, the lion above the flames.
Seated on these disarranged... I guess they don't have... A handful of tiny shards of brightly... The remains of the stained glass...
Did we do it? Are we the guilty ones?
I'm not going to interrupt him in the middle of his...
The thunderous voice of your angels through the gas.
This enormous stone cross. Perhaps that wasn't the original intention.
The ruins of the temple.
Is this here?
The lion above the flames. We still have time.
What was formerly the subway service suspended. I imagine the train tunnels were flooded or... A metal sign bolted to the... And from what I can see... Let's see. I'm afraid I'm not going to be... I don't think I'd get... It's one of the ways into the city. The Great Wave wrecked this place. So, let's see. Impossible. It's not that it's super heavy. It's that there's hard... I'm afraid I can't do that. Closed for public health reasons is written on this piece of wood nailed to this. Wait a minute. Health? Southside Park. This must be the famous suicide... Huh. The pun. A bucolic... In its day, it must have been... Judging from its girth, now the stump... The park is closed down. And the front, if I want to get in there... I can't see any end, which would seem to indicate that you can only get inside the...
This entrance is reserved for authorized motor vehicles.
What the hell? Those savages don't get around. I bet, at least on foot. It's rather disconcerting to see such a small... Could this be the medical center?
This entrance...
What the hell? Those savages, at least on. This fence protects the. It seems like. These are the remains of the. Ugh. You can smell these dead creatures from. I have no intention of picking up those rotten fish. These are the remains of the fish that used to swim. Ugh. You can smell these dead creatures. I have no intention of picking up those rotten fish with my hand. Aha. After. The park is closed. If I want to get. So. It's one of the great. It doesn't look like it's having any effect. It's not that securely attached to the wall, but I need something stronger to tear this sign. The ruins of a I don't quite see it.
I need to get in it.
Okay.
This house, if I can just... I need... If the soldiers...
Impossible. I'm sorry.
I need to...
I'm sorry.
Help me.
Dozens of posters, all shredded, charred, or one of them in deodorants. They seem like messages from dozens of posters. Deodorants, restaurants, cosmetic. They seem like messages for another. It's a poster advertising an insurance company. The slogan is, "Tomorrow comes today." There's something familiar about this poster. I'd even swear that I actually remember it for the first time since I woke up. I can say that I can remember something from my former life. Something hazy, related to this. A dirty window at ground level for ventilation. It's the only opening in this building's basement. Use this here? How? They were nailed into it. I have no intention. I don't think I'd gain anything. Considering how heavy this padlock and chain are, and it's also true that the old man's bolt cutters are too dull. A chain with a padlock. Let's not wait.
Did we do it? Are we the guilty ones?
Tomorrow comes today. There's something about the composition that's strangely familiar to me. Some memory related to my former life, perhaps? Or maybe it's just a... I can't help staring at this. It's as if there's some hidden message in the background of the... What the hell is so familiar to me about this?
Did we do it? Are we the guilty ones?
Tomorrow...
The thunderous voice of your angels through the gash. That is your sign.
The catastrophe is a miracle. The pedestal definitely...
The thunderous voice of your angels through the gash.
Let's see.
That
If I wedge one of the ends of the plank under the statue's pedestal, the other part will rest directly on the base of the toppled column.
We're waiting, Lord. Did we do it? Illuminate us. Send us a sign with your just and vengeful arm. Is this our fault? Listen! It's the fiery breath of God. The Lord has sent us his sign. And I was right. It is all our fault. We did it. And we have aroused his fury.
But what the hell's going on here?
Look, that's the sign. Forgive us, Lord. Forgive us. Repent, all ye sinners.
It's the atmospheric phenomenon I've been hearing so much about. That it's terrifying.
That is the sign. We, my children, God has spoken, but there's still time. Salvation lies in the... We must return. We must...
What?
This is a stone fragment that served as a physics and religion in peaceful coexistence. Among all the fragments of the stained glass window scattered on the floor. Well, look at that. Next to this enormous hunk of glass, I'd better get rid of him. A hard, thick piece of glass, and it has a very... Reverend Blake is totally overwhelmed. It looks like the crack in the sky is having a The man's message intrigues me. Hello. I heard...
Yeah, God has shown... With his thunderous voice, he has... But there's still time. The head of the... holds...
Tell me.
The wrath of... There's still time. The key is in the ruins of the temple. We have to bring me the head of the lion.
But this church is already in ruins. It hardly You're already in the room.
No, you're mistaken.
That's enough. Stop tormenting my...
The head of the lion? That sounds absurd. What sign?
The dark angels of God clamor madly through the open wound that is bleeding the kingdom of heaven dry. Haven't you heard? They were speaking with a thunderous voice. God is furious. That is his...
I suppose in his delirium, the man has mistaken that strange sound coming from the gash as a sign from the heaven. He's definitely lost his mind.
Please be so kind as to leave us in peace.
I assume...
No! It's the stench that made the gears of the gates of hell grind. And now they're opening up like a festering wound to swallow us all. Can it be that you haven't heard it? That is his sign.
Excuse...
We've lacerated the sacred skin. We've betrayed him. We've stabbed him with our infinite arrow. Through that gash, Lucifer has... Satan is calling each and every... That...
Tell me.
The wrath of... There's still time. The key is in the ruins of the temple. We have bring...
But what is...
Times the will... Centuries... The Celestial Empire is... Now I see... That's...
This man is definitely...
I beg you, leave my brother...
I think it's better...
Yes.
They'll still bring me the head...
She meditates in silence, resigned and exhausted. I guess it falls to her to take care of him now. I'm afraid I can't do... Can I ask you if...
Sure, can't you...
What goes on inside that church?
Are you referring to the pastor and his flock? Reverend Blake is a good man. He helped a lot of people after the... But he gradually started to lose his mind until he...
Well, I stopped by once or twice to listen to him preach. The day I try to go at this time of day, there are fewer people because the Reverend seems obsessed with that atmospheric phenomenon in the sky. Although I think he's actually... But the most surprising thing about all this is that he has hundreds of followers. And he's attracting more. And they even let him into the refugee camp once in a while. People adore...
Why does that surprise you? We've been following sane leaders since time. Maybe it's time to start following the...
Well, that's the most sensible...
Atmospheric phenomenon? Are you referring to the gash in the...
On this side of the fence, the authorities have atypical controlled turbulence. Though I suppose that's just a fan. That they have no idea what the hell it...
It makes my blood run cold when that
I wish those scrambled little clouds up there were the worst of our problems.
Oh,
Thanks for the...
It doesn't look like it's... Let's see. I can try to rip it off. I'm afraid I'm not going... I don't quite see how I could use this here? How? I don't think I'd gain anything by using this here. I'm afraid I can't do that. The park is closed down. And the front gate, if I want to get in there... This thick wall of trees goes from one end of the compound to the other. Who the hell would think to build these facilities without clearing them? Judging from its girth, now the stump is guarded. Doesn't look like it's having any effect. Impossible. I can't reach it from here. Maybe I should find a way to get to the... I don't quite see how I...
Hey. Hello again. Have you come back to spend...
I don't have... Better not. There are twice as many of them. If I wanted to...
Hey.
Hello, mister.
I still am.
I should be... I prefer to hold on to it. I think this will be... Scratching the glass. Besides, I hate... It doesn't seem like a... Specialize in wheel... This bartender is no doubt the... Someone went to all the trouble of taking the hood off an old Corvette just to turn it into a tacky... Use this here? How? I don't think I'd gain... Okay, here goes. It's impossible to budge these drums at all. I don't know what... Dented, dirty, and in pretty bad shape. It's a thick cable that runs along, but I can't see it very well from here. Dozens of drums, which would suggest... Can I ask you?
I'll answer.
Well,
Just...
it's bolted from inside. Time has left these hinges bent and rusted. There's no way I'm going to be able to break open this door with my bare hands. I'm afraid I can't do that. The glass isn't hard enough to unblock this door. It would break in two.
Hey, Red, I don't think that motorcycle belongs to you. Or at least I don't...
Are you one of those people who have no respect for private property, bastard?
I'm beginning to get an idea. I'm stepping away. Clean and well-maintained. This bike is... although, that's not saying much, considering the disaster. It looks like quite a large river flowed through it once, but nowadays... it doesn't look like it. I don't quite see how I could use this here. Scratching the glass with the nails wouldn't do much good. Besides, I hate the squeaky sound of sharp... use this heat. I don't think I'd gain it. I'm not going to give it to anyone. I prefer to hold on to it. Scratching the glass with the nails wouldn't do much good. Besides, I hate the squeaky sound. It doesn't seem like...
Ay, señor.
Excuse me. I think it...
Yes.
There's spring.
I'm not going to give it to anyone. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, my head! What the hell's going on?
Excuse me. Tell me.
The raw. There's still the key. Bring.
But this church, you're already in the room.
No, you're mistaken.
That's enough.
The head of the... That sounds absurd. I think it's...
Yes.
There's spring.
This entrance is...
What the hell?
Those savages don't get around. At least on foot.
I refuse to touch that
So, let's see. Impossible. It's not that it's super heavy. I'm afraid I can't do... Someone went to a lot of trouble to weld the front... I'm afraid that access is totally... The park is closed down, and the front gate... If I want to get... It doesn't look... For now, I have no interest... A chain with a padlock. Huh, but I'm no who... Let's not wait. Dozens of posts.
I need to...
I'm looking...
I don't really know. They built no one, whatever they... Not even...
Did you say you're...
Yes, I'm afraid because
I'm sorry.
Help me.
Yo encuentro la explosión.
I'll do this very carefully, so that the glass doesn't break in two. Perfect. The hole I've dug is big enough to get to the other side of it. I've dug a hole big enough to get under. Now it's my private entrance to the park. It's not exact. These are the remains of the... Ugh. You can smell these dead creatures. I have no intent... Good God. There are dozens, hundreds of corpses hanging from the branches. What could have drawn all these people here? What kind of pain? What kind of desperation brought them here? These are the corpses of ordinary people who were living their ordinary lives in their ordinary little worlds up to a very short time ago. Could any of them have imagined meeting an forgotten and nameless, swaying in the breeze like marionettes? And all those savages in uniforms did was... They didn't even bother to cut their bodies. I'm afraid that tonight they're in suicide. Impossible. One of its ends is tied to the... Well, the other is also... I'm not going to cut it. If I can manage to salvage this rope... Although the crows have already done it from what's left, I'd say that the corpse, one of the many dark stars... That strikes me as disrespectful, and I don't think it would do... A rotting bench overlooked... It looks like the kid who hanged himself from this tree climbed up on this. It's impressive. The park was able to devour the fence effortless. The metal bars became like plasticine, molded by... An iron crowbar buried like a... Right now, the other end is around... One of the many dark... Although the crows have already done it from what's left. Wait a minute. That guy is... the suicide victim who was hanging from this tree. No, don't do it, please. No! Good God. I saw him hang himself. This vegetation is so dense, there's no doubt that nature has taken over and considering its proximity, I bet this is the continuation of the wall of trees. The trees and bushes are so close together here. The thorns in these... I'm not going to be able to... I don't think doing this... The wall of vegetation is so dense that I'd only end up breaking... If I want to hack a path through this wall of vegetation, I'll have to use... Wherever I look, some... The crowbar fits perfectly into... Wait a minute. I'm not going to climb down any further, and it would be crazy to go into these... Maybe with the help of the crowbar, I... Damn it! I've managed to tear it down, but the subway sign is broken in two. A subway sign split in two. That's what happens when you try to rip something off a... I agree that violence is sometimes the short, but considering how heavy this padlock, I'm not sure that brute force is going to help me open. I don't quite see how I could use it. Use this here? I don't think I'd gain... Okay. Got it. Blah. They look better. Rainwater has seeped into the car, and it seems like the seat cover on the driver. Let's see. Good. The upholstery came off along with one. It serves its purpose to a T. If you stretch it in both directions, the band becomes longer. And if you release it, well, I'd better not do that. It's the scrap of fabric that was used as a seat cover. Dirty, damp, and mildewed. I'm afraid. Although both objects were... This scrap of tattered fabric... I'm afraid I can't. As dead as that tree is, it still looks strong. I can't reach it from here. Before I go down, I'll leave the heavy in case the rope doesn't support me. Underneath the surface, there must be many more. No doubt they're the remains of a structure that sank. It seems like a small fraction. underneath the surface, no doubt.
Ya sé lo que quiere.
I'll get my stuff. A small piece of sculpted marble. It's that. Could it be a lion's? The head of the lion above the flames. I think this must be.
The head of the lion. The ruins of salvation is still the annihilation. There's still time. I have to return to the ruins of the temple. I have to go back to the ruins of the temple.
Wait a minute! Whew. There's no question in my mind. This man is a complete lunatic. She meditates in silence. I guess it... When Reverend Blake ran out, he dropped it. This man seems totally possessed. Reverend Blake's cross. Better not. Use that with this. So, let's see. I just made a primitive homemade slingshot. They could be the perfect projectile, but these nails... Besides, something tells me I'm not... Why would I want to do something? It doesn't look like it. This quilted fabric fits the size. Okay, let's try this. And let's cross our fingers that the seed comes. If the soldiers next door find me, they'll blow my head off.
You've done it. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you, stranger. You saved my life.
Take care of yourself, old man. And I don't have to... Don't open the door to strange...
Bien.
A super high-tech security system is primitive. This home already has an owner. Out of the question. I could break... It's the pair of bolt cutters the old man could barely get his hands around. That wouldn't... Even if I could, I wouldn't cut this object. I can't use these two objects together.
Vale. Perfecto. Ya sé dónde voy.
Let's see what's on the other side.
No! Please! These visions! My head!
You won't get any of his things. I won't allow it. Do you hear me?
Michael, is that you? Thank God we found you. It's me, Chris. Don't you recognize me? But there is a solution, Michael. All is not lost. There is still a possibility of salvation for us. For each and every one of us.
You have to stop this, Michael. You have to quit.
I can't do it.
It's destroying us, don't you see? It's killing us.
It's that demon inside me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. These visions are getting more intense all the time. The pain is unbearable. Who's Chris? Salvation is still possible, he said. Could that be true? And once again, that female voice has been haunting me since I woke up. Who is she? Why was she so distressed?
That's it.
What the hell happened to us? Or is going to happen to us?
From here, I have a magnificent view. In truth, the part that's the vegetation conceals a much larger area. The tree, whatever's inside them, there must be... More of that barbed wire that adorns... If I get up close enough, I can hear a slight... There's a flat metal object buried in the bush. I have no intention of sticking my arms through this. As a suicide option, I think I... Forget it. By the sound of it, there must be a massive amount. I'd only manage to fry. I doubt I'd accomplish any... Forget it. I'd only manage to fry myself. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure, can't you?
Thanks for the...
Hello, Michael.
Hi, kids.
We got Mom out of the house.
Yes. I think I have something... I don't know if I'm doing... They're just kids. And this... But their aim is amazing. And a little commotion on the camp. Besides, they want to do something for... And those pigs at the gate deserve a surprise.
What is it, Michael?
I know it's something... It's a slingshot.
It's a slingshot! Thank you, Michael. With this, we'll be able to hit the watchtowers. Come on, let's try it! That'll teach you, pigs!
Attention, all units in Sector 12. Report immediately to the North Watchtower. I repeat, report immediately to the North Watchtower.
What's going on? I don't know. It must be something serious. Come on, let's go.
You hit him! Haha, yes! So what do we do now? I don't know. We've got to get out of here. Quickly! Run!
I better take this with me. I'm not going to pick them up. I'm sure it took the kids besides.
Quita de pruebas.
Maybe this leather saddle or, whew. Oh, shit. The key's not in the ignition. One of the... Anyway. Oh, shit. Anyway. The type of gloves motorcyclists wear. And although I... Okay. I'll wear the gloves to cut. Perfect. There's no need to handle this with a... I don't quite see how I could use... Let's see what's down... It's a trapdoor, and it looks like it hasn't been...
Okay.
What is this place? Where the devil am I? It seems like the small building at the ground level is just camouflage. The most important part is here underground. Are all of them dissolved? How many patients can there be packed in here? Dozens? Hundreds? This is horrible.
Great. It's a hell of a drop. And the rail... Awesome. Wait a minute, though. Isn't... Hundreds of the dissolved packed like sardines in this hall. Waiting. If there's a hell in this new world, it sure is hell.
What is this place? It seems...
Tranquilo.
How many patients? This is horrible.
Sigue, sigue.
It doesn't look that safe. This catwalk that I have a tremendous... I can't look directly into them. It must take an enormous amount of electricity to maintain this building. That's where the fuel is stored, that they need to run all the... A container covered in dust. It's the only exit on this side of the catwalk. It doesn't look promising. Let's see if this... Perfect. It looks like this... Judging by the horrible noise this door must lead to the vast hall. With, as Reverend Blake might say, a stairway... Better not. I'm an intruder in this, going down to the main hall of the hospital. The handle... It looks like this closet is used frequently. A tiny lock is preventing me from opening the... Use this here. A tiny lock is... I'm not going to open it this way. I don't see any cracks in the door big enough to get any leverage. A tiny lock is preventing me from opening the door. Maybe a professional burglar could do it, but I can never pick this lock with just... It's an enormous, wrinkled plastic... It's sagging from... It has a side zipper that's open. The lining of the back... What the hell could they have been keeping inside it? I'd rather not do that. The acid would do its corrosive work. It won't open that way. I don't think I'd gain anything. I don't think doing this... The future is in our hands. From the text, I say this poster must have been part of... Unlike his neighbors, this door is hanging. All I see inside are remnants of... It looks like someone left in a hurry. Without... A row of anonymous could fall apart, maybe in solidarity. Benches in front of the lockers. And so is this... More of that official propaganda. The floor of this place is one... It's a little disconcerting to note that cleanliness is not... This glass cabinet has dozens of medication, antibiotics... Locked. I'm starting to get annoyed with this sense of ownership I see in lockers and other stores. I'd rather use a key to open this case, but I'm a bit short on time, so...
Who is it? Who's there?
Oh, hey...
What are you doing here? Have you come to steal something?
No, wait, please.
Security? This is Nurse Uma Grundy.
No, wait. I thought...
Don't you dare judge me. Our priority is our patients. And if you value your...
Steal?
You just broke the glass on one of our pharmacy cabs.
There's a reasonable explanation.
You'd better be convincing when those soldiers... Come on, get out of here now.
Wait a minute. Did you say Uma?
Yes.
Wait, please don't turn... I know your father. I saved his life just a few hours ago, but I was able to stop...
My God, did you say... Tell me, how is...
Don't worry, Uma. He told me about you and your work in this place. Wait, please...
This is Nurse Uma Grundy. It turned out to be a false alarm. You don't have to...
Thank you, Uma. My name is Mike.
But now you should explain why you What are you
I came to get medicine. I need a cure for the...
Cure? There's no... You won't find it here or... The authorities distributed a memo among the medical staff. It told us that they've definitely abandoned the search for a medicine. The only thing we store here is pain. This place is but also for the people who work. I'm sorry, Michael. The dissolve...
No, that can't be. Oh, man. But I heard... Well, if that's not the case...
The Army deliberately keeps that rumor about a possible cure alive. You see, as long as people still have some hope left. But it's a lie.
I understand.
This medical center was built just after the Great Wave, taking advantage. That was when the authorities were beginning to work on their They told us the building was going to be used to take in the first patients. I left my job in a clinic downtown to come here. They demanded total confidentiality. Not even my father knew what we were really...
Yes. He told me that...
At first, we treated the patient. There was medicine to ease their suffering and even everything was...
And then what happened?
Things started to go wrong. When the number of... And then we began to run out of even... And that was when the Army took over.
Yeah, that sounds...
Then they sealed off the building. No one was... We doctors and nurses have been shut in here for months. Isolated without even a glimpse of daylight. It's for our own safety. Now our medical care is limited to wrapping up the patients in plastic bags and then simply waiting for them to die. Then we dispose of their remains, dissolving the black bags in acid for decontamination. That's all we can do with the resources we have. And sometimes it's...
Condemned to die.
These people suffer the most The first symptoms are bouts of nausea and fainting, which become more frequent until, in the end, their entire... There's no medical explanation, but there's something even...
What could be stranger than what you just...
The dissolved become erratic. That's why the Army fears them. So the sole function of this place is to keep them locked away until death takes them. It's also why people who harbor the dissolved, and it's also the reason for the
cleanup.
They're savages, heartless. The rest of the staff refuses to share the facilities. That's where they keep everything they need for their hunting expeditions. Each unit is made up of 2 soldiers. Doctors and nurses collaborating with those. But then they say, what do you want?
Yes, it's bone-chilling. Police and criminals using exactly the same... You gotta do what you gotta do. That seems to be the slogan. but I thought...
But that's a lie. The spread of the disease is accelerating, but it's not. We doctors and nurses have been treating the sick for months. And the rate of contagion among us is the army.
But then, how is...
We don't know, Michael. What we do know is that it's not caused. There's another reason for the Army's secrecy about the disease. It's human nature to fear the unknown. We tend to panic and this damn disease...
And...
They know. You probably think I'm crazy, but they sense things. They bring back information, and they talk to the dead there, Michael. They're
just sick people.
No! They're more than just ordinary sick people. You wouldn't talk like...
Wait a minute.
Let me tell you a story. When I first came to the center, I became friendly with a patient. All the time I was taking care. She told me all about the underground highways. She said...
Underground highway?
She said they all went there when they lost... Obviously, I felt great pity for the girl. But in time, I was afraid of that. Her visions, her dreams, And then one night, she sat down next to another patient. An older... According to our calculations, the woman had just lost consciousness. Leave me alone with her, the girl said to me. And just seconds later... The woman started to dissolve until there was nothing left of her but a puddle. The girl turned to me and said, I knew she was leaving us and I didn't want her to go alone. That she knew what was going to happen. From then on, my fear became uncontrollable.
I understand.
Finally, my panic was so great and I even, God forgive me, I felt they know, Michael. And that's why there's... Talk to my father, Michael. Tell him that we'll be seeing very soon.
It's Nurse Uma, exhausted and more evidence that those pigs in uniform have lost all... Hello, Uma. Uma.
Talk to my... That will be very...
In the middle of all the broken glass, there's a vial labeled... The nurse's silhouette seems to fade. I'm afraid that... We must be very deep underground. That explains... Better not. Going down... I'm not going to leave this place without finding one of these memos about the dissolve. If it's true that the Army has stopped looking for a... Let's see. And a tiny key. Although it fits, I can't turn it. I don't think... Let's see if it's the key. Bingo! I see a yellow bucket in here with a handful with... I'm not going to take any. A small red LED is blinking on all of them. A mysterious... According to one of the cleanup brigade's forums, this is the device they use to navigate. It looks like some satellites are actually still working after something I could easily confirm if this... A rather large plot. It used to hold some of the cleanup brigade's work to... It's an internal Army memo. The report talks about the failure to develop... And what's even worse, the decision... Authorized vehicle. It's the ID that allows the cleanup brigades to get in and out of the hospital compound. From what I can tell, the Army can pump you full of lead if you try to come through the gate.
Toca darme.
This entrance is...
Those savages don't get, at least on foot. I'm afraid I can't. The guards were clear. Motor ID or not, I have no intention of exposing myself to their bullets. This street is even more desolate and silent than it was before. I guess while I was in the subterranean hospital for the dissolved, the soldiers called the curfew. She meditates in silence. I guess it falls to her to take care of... What are you doing out here, ma'am?
It's my brother. He's disappeared.
What do you mean?
Well, we haven't seen him since he spoke to you. We've been searching for him for hours
And you don't have any idea where...
No, he simply ran out of the door. Completely out of... And we haven't heard anything from him. I just know that something terrible has happened to him. My brother... I fear...
Calm down. There's no...
I have a feeling that something... Besides, the soldiers have... If they find him on the street alone... My brother is a very beloved and respected person. But...
I understand.
We have to get off the street. Please, if you see my brother, tell him to come home.
Of course. This home already has an owner. This home already... One of the soldiers guarded... What the hell?
The camp is closed, Rat.
But I have to come in. It's... What happened?
There's no understanding you worms. Once you're outside, one of our soldiers was killed, and the camp will remain closed until... So take a...
There was an attack?
Yes. Someone hit one of the sentries in the watch... He was killed. Luckily, it seems there was a witness who saw the perpetrator, but we never trust the testimony of a rat, so we're waiting for the criminals to confess, or for the murder.
I don't think it's gonna take very long to get the truth out of these kids. Or to find the weapon they used to commit the crime.
Good God. What have I done? I knew I shouldn't have gotten them mixed up in this. But they're just a couple of scared kids. What are you planning on doing?
Killing an official is and martial law. They acted as adults. As soon as they confess, or we find the weapon they used to... Do you have a problem with...
You're nothing but a gang of...
One more word and I'll blow... I couldn't care less, what? Get out of my...
Those pigs are gonna kill the boys. I'll be responsible for their death. I have to do something, and... Unless dissolution is imminent, there's no point in... doesn't look like it's... I don't quite see... Rifles against slingshots? That... No matter how hard I try... Better not. That would be... Damn it. Those bastards in uniform, for God's sake. And I have to... No matter how... Not even gallons of this acid can make the traces of blood. Use this here? I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but throwing acid... I'd rather not do that. You have to let me in.
The camp will open, or when we find those two brats, and now...
Those pigs are gonna kill the boy. I'll be I have to...
A ver qué hago.
Time is running out for those poor kids. And if I don't stop it, I'll have their death on my conscience. Come on, Michael. You have to do something. You have to do something. Before I go down, in case the... I suppose this water... Jesus! It's the corpse of Reverend Blake.
What?
His neck is broken. In his delirium, he must not have seen the rope I left tied around the tree. It must have fallen from the top when he was trying to get down here. But what the hell was he looking for here? He still has the same grimace of terror as when he ran out of the church. I don't care anymore. I'm afraid... What's that? There's something... Let's see what's in... Damp, moldy business card. It's almost a beechwood, or most of the text is too worn off to read. How long were those animals before shooting those bullets? Their time. Jesus, Michael.
Epa.
It's the corpse of Reverend Blake. I don't think I'd gain any. Why would I want to do something like... Use this on his face? Okay, time's running out, and I'll do anything to save those. If there's a good reason to do it. I just need one good reason. Use this on his face. Okay, time. If there's a good... I just need... I'd rather not do that. I'm afraid I can't do... Good idea. I could use Reverend Blake as escape... Huh. On the other hand, I doubt anyone would believe my story if I... This is gonna be hard. Very hard. But those children are innocents in all this. And those ruthless savages are about to kill them in cold blood. I have no other choice.
God damn it! Had the visions again! Not now. I have to do this. I've got to do this. My head!
You've got to stop this, Michael. I can't stand it anymore. This has to end.
I can't help it. It's that demon. You know I can't help it.
Please, Michael. Please. Make it stop.
Yes. That tiny, cowardly demon. I remember. That brutal sensation of acid running through your veins. Corroding, little by little, anything good and decent you might have left inside you. Turning it into pain, rot, and emptiness. I've disfigured his face, but not enough. I've disfigured his face. I remember it. I remember. I can smell it, feel it, touch it.
No, please. Don't do it. No!
That cowardly demon. That dark and intimate specter that only you know. That gains strength in this new world. Digging its claws into your soul like a jagged piece of glass. Whispering in your ear that what you're doing is right. Because nobody has the authority to tell you otherwise. Good God, what have I done? What have I done? Why are you showing me this? Please, answer me. Who was I before the catastrophe? Before the world collapsed? Do I really want to know? God, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of myself. There's no time for guilt. You gotta do what... Damn it! I'm starting to sound like...
Qué bonito.
I'll get my stuff. You have to let those boys... You've got the wrong people!
What are you in? You better have a good or we'll splatter your brains all over the wall of shame.
I know who the guilty party is.
Hey, we've got to start talking.
Okay, I hope those pigs take... Because if they find out the truth... The murderer was a deranged man I met in the city. He told me he was desperate. Tired of the humiliation. He was determined to do... I didn't believe him at the time. But now I see that after the attack, he committed suicide by jumping into the cesspit. His face is unrecognizable from hitting the rock, but I'm sure you'll find the murder weapon next to his body.
We're approaching what looks like a body. It looks like that worm was right. Over.
What a mess. What the hell happened to his face?
Meh, who cares?
We found the guilty party with the murder weapon. Let those kids go. And unlock...
You can come in now.
Epa.
It's the entrance to Hunter's Bar. Oddly enough, there's light visible under the door, and I can still... From all the noise coming from the other side of this door, but they don't seem to hear me. I brought the morphine for your husband. This woman in this house gave me the chills. Let's get this over with as soon as...
So you've come for your money?
You offered it to me.
No, you're right. That's what we agreed. I'm an honest woman. Take your money, Mike.
All right. Thank you and good luck. I'm sure we'll be...
Wait! Mike, is it money that you want? I have more money. I still have... I'm sure we can figure something.
I don't understand.
My husband is about to die. Without him, the soldiers don't even show us any respect anymore. And it didn't matter to them in the least. But if you stay here, all that could change. I still have some... I could arrange for you to become... You're not like the rest of those rats out there, Mike. We'd be important again. Or do you want to be just another beggar in this sewer? Stay here with us.
No. I don't doubt for a second that this is like a cornered score. I don't think that would be a good idea. Take good care of those boys.
Yeah. Get out of here, you disgusting rat. You're all... I don't need you. I don't need any of you. But I won't give you the satisfaction you But you won't see me crawling around in the trap.
A cornered scorpion that are closing in. I think it would be best not to speak to this woman ever again. Better not. This woman strikes me as dangerous. Besides, after our last conversation... Better not. I have no interest in... If I get close enough, he seems to be writhing in pain. Must be because of the dampness. But these... I suppose the odor of the new world is... Now I fear the day I... Throw away the wad of cash, but I'm still not crazy. I brought money.
Hey, this is a lot of dope.
So?
More than enough. This'll get you into... Oh, you can have a good time with our mini... You break it?
Yeah.
What exactly do you... Hey, pal. Touch the... My partner and I don't kid around.
Extremely. You don't have to get nervous. The wreck of an old ice cream. It looks like the...
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Hello, Rose.
Are you here to save me? Have you brought... They won't let me leave here to look for him. I don't have anyone else. That's why you came back. Or did you come back? Do you want me to take and lie down on the...
You said you don't have...
I don't know, Mr. The last time I saw them was when that... They said they were leaving, but that they'd come back to find me. And then they left me. They told me they'd only come back if I took good care of him. If I helped... Did you see my baby and me in the... But someone took him while I was a... You see, I had this dream while those soldiers were hurt. Do you like to dream this?
It depends on the dream.
I dream about my baby a lot. Sleeping in his little cradle. And the sun came in through the window every morning and lit up everything. This room is darker. I don't like the dark. And sometimes they lock me here in the dark. Have you brought me my baby, Mr.?
That poor girl is more disturbed. It looks like her mind hasn't been able to... Someone needs to get her out. No, Rose. I haven't brought you... No.
It's because of them. They don't let... They say I have to be ready in case... They only let me go see Rod and Colin in their trailer every...
And why don't you run away?
Those men are too scary, Mr. Sleepy. They yell at me and hit me if I don't do what they say. Sometimes they lock me in here. And I'm afraid the soldiers will come back. They say they'll call them. And if I don't behave, I'm so afraid of the dark. Colin is afraid of the dark too. Before he got sick, he told me. I like the light better. Do you like the light?
Yes.
It's like it's Christmas, but the one who scares me most is the hunter. He's always ordering everyone around. He even gives orders to those men outside. He's like a horror. I get the shivers every time. But I like your voice very. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale.
I'd like to talk to you, Rose.
Yes, Mr. Sleepyhead. But I'm not going.
Why not?
Because you haven't brought me. I asked you to help me and you haven't done it. Aren't we friends anymore?
Yes, of course. But Rose, please.
Okay. Again, I have something of yours from before the Great Wave. It's the key, but I won't give it to you unless I can.
The key to my chest of dreams? But if it's something from before the Great Wave... Rose, I don't have time for games.
No, please bring me my baby. Have you seen the picture of my baby and me? It was taken before the Great... I have no one else. I need... Bring him to me! Bring him to me!
Hey, pal! You can have a good time with our Minnie Mouse. You know how it works.
All right, Rose. All right. Calm down. Goodbye, Rose.
No, don't go. Will you help me, Mr. Sleepyhead? Will you be my knight in shining armor? Bring me what I ask.
I'll try, Rose. I prefer to hold on to it. This is the poor girl's place of business. It was probably dragged here. I doubt this belongs to Rose. Those poker addicts left this old toolbox here. From what I see, the only useful... It's a page torn out of a very old... in her delirium. Poor Rose thinks it's a photograph. From the mother's side. It's the pile of rags Rose's. When winter comes, it would break Rose's heart to see me stealing her... There's makeup scattered at the foot of... I suppose those savages out there force Rose... A string of Christmas, the reflect, and more so...
Hello, Mr.
Hello, Rose. Goodbye, Rose.
No, will you be...
I'll try, Rose. Unless dissolution is imminent,